Before I get started, do I have any questions? All right, just get going, Niket. Okay, here we go. I would love for us to be able to give an over. Oh, sorry, I don't want to skip over this one. Key takeaways from this meeting. So here's some key takeaways. I'm going to spoil some of the information that's coming up. We have a project timeline change where we have extended our project. So initially this was a 9-month project and we have extended that. So we'll be talking about that. That does change our launch date. We have the card sort results for you that we want to be sharing. That is information that will be informing our information architecture. And we're working on that right now. And Anthrotech, Claire Benjamin from Anthrotech will be presenting, and we'll have an activity with that. And then also another takeaway is that we have a tree testing study, and that is the next phase of our user-centered design research. And Claire will be talking about that too today. So there's other things that you'll be getting out of the meeting, but these are some of the main takeaways that I want you to get. Okay, so I'm going to have everybody do introductions. I think we could still manage to do some breakout sessions, otherwise it's going to take too much time. We have enough people now. So I'm going to put you into breakout sessions, and I'd love for you to introduce yourself to the group. When you're there, what is one word that you think describes a goal of the new website? No right or wrong answers. What is a goal that you have for your program division regarding the website? So those are your 2 questions. So what's one word you would think describes a goal of the new website? And what's a goal that you have for your program division regarding the website? And we'll be sharing them when we come back. So I'm going to put us into any questions before I put you into breakout sessions here. All right. See if I can figure this out. Okay. So how many people do we have here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4 breakout sessions. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. Sound good? They're small groups, so that should work out pretty good. All right. Here we go. Let's go. You guys getting the message yet? Okay. And everybody's back. So just you to be in your word.
Courtney, do you want to do it for the team?
Do that, or you can type in your own. It's up to you, depending on what you decided to do with your group. So easy, simple, clarity, purposeful. There's a little asterisk with purposeful. I don't know. Maybe whoever put that might want to elaborate just so I make sure I understand, or maybe it's just there for visual purposes.
That's because originally I misspelled it, so I had to fix myself.
Gotcha. Organized. So a lot of the same words here. Cohesive brand, like that. Accessible. Okay, very good. Everybody got their word in there? And let's go to the next one. And sorry, folks, so many screens. Here we go. So I think I need to clear this. So let me see how to do that. Clear all drawings. Okay, so use the annotate feature to add your word to the slide on what goal you have for your program or division regarding the website. And I know that you have many goals, but what was one of the goals that you had? It might be the same word.
Yeah.
So we all have our pain points with our sites. So what do you think yours is that you would like to see improved? clean. Like that. Current. Clean and current, provides information forms so customers don't have to call DES staff. So self-serve, a little bit more self-serve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Does somebody want to, whoever wrote current, do you want to chat? Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I feel like I'm getting called out. It's always me. Just kidding. No.
Oh, sorry, Courtney.
Current, I just meant like what fleet and operations and parking. I'm going to take full blame. I know on our website, we were reviewing it and we saw a lot of outdated forms. It wasn't current processes. And so just making sure what is on there is current.
Awesome. And then customers find what they're looking for, reduce the need for phone calls, discover other services useful to them. Very good. One of the things that we hear a lot is that our programs like to talk to customers, which is awesome. What we're really hoping that we can do is make things as self-serve as possible so that when they are talking to you, it's about those things that you really can't put on the website. Like it's the very customized support that they need from you. So I like to see that. Relevant information, very good. Anybody else want to throw something on there? Or we want to move forward? Okay, I will keep going. Thank you everybody for participating in that. Let me clear my screen again here. Clear, there we go, okay. Okay, so just to give you an overview, a reminder of what our phase one encompasses, it still encompasses the same thing, even though I have mentioned already that there's a timeline extension. It's still about the new look and feel for the overall site, new homepage and top level pages, fully revamped contracts and purchasing content, and then migrating all of their content without making it many changes to it. Just what we refer to in our world as a lift and shift. You lift the content, you shift it over to the new design. So that is the migration phase. So all of that's the same. If you recall, we're right here in the January, May, and if you recall, we are going to be really powering through a lot of the information architecture, the user research, the information architecture and navigation, the design and branding, the communicating to our stakeholders. We were really trying to power through all of that. We just found that and then we were going to launch in June 30th. We were finding that we weren't having enough time. Our core team wasn't having enough time to review things as they were and turn them around. And so the executive steering committee, we did take this to them and asked them if we could get a little bit more of an extension, and they approved. And this is what that looks like. We added about 10 weeks to the project. We are looking at a September 12th launch instead of a June 30th launch. We will have more time for our information architecture work overall. So we originally were hoping to be done with that sooner than we will be. So it's giving us more time. It also will give us more time for our tree testing, which is another phase of user-centered design, and Claire's going to be giving you a flavor of that today. It moves our content improvement work back as well. So really, it's kind of shifting everything just back 3 months, or 10 weeks, pretty much. And then we added time for acceptance and sign-off. Do you have any questions about these changes? Okay. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's not happening June 30th, but we want to make sure that we're launching a quality product, and we were getting a little concerned about trying to squeeze in too much. We did know that this was an aggressive time schedule to begin with, so I can't say I'm totally shocked. So card search results are the next thing, and that's what Claire is going to cover. So I am going to stop my screen, Claire, and let you talk about that. See if I could.
So my name is Claire Benjamin. I'm a user experience researcher at AnswerTech, and I'll be walking us through some of the findings from the card sort, and then also, as Niket mentioned, a little bit of an intro to tree tests. So feel free to stop me at any point if you have any questions, any comments. If you do the hand raise feature, I might not see you because I'm in presenter mode, but feel free to speak up as we're going through this. Can you all see it?
Yep.
And the actual slide's not presenting. side.
Right.
Cool. Thank you. All right, so I'll go through a quick recap of the card sort studies. I believe Kat has kind of walked you through what those are and kind of the purpose for those. So I'll give you a look at the findings and then how we're using that card sort data. And then I'll kind of transition into what is a tree test, and we'll have a little bit of an activity related to that. So the setup for our card sorts, we had two different ones. We had the global one that represented tasks across the entire website. And then we had some specifically focused on contracts and procurement because as Niket mentioned, we want to revamp that content specifically. So we had one sort that was specifically focused on that. And the cards represented tasks across the website. So some representative tasks from different services, some top tasks that we identified for various user groups, and then some specific research questions that we wanted to explore in order to build the information architecture. So we used a tool called Optimal Sort, which some of you might have seen if you went in and played around in the card sort yourself. We launched it in December and it was live through about the middle of January. So we had a mix of people participate in this card sort. We had people from businesses that interact with DES. We had representatives from state agencies, as well as other government entities, and then a few people from the general public as well. We also made sure that we were including participants that have held a contract, as well as those that haven't. And then we made sure to include people that were employees or owners of minority-owned, women-owned, veteran-owned, and small businesses. We also had a mix of frequency of visits to the website, although most people tended to fall in that kind of monthly to quarterly range. We also gave them the opportunity to leave some comments and kind of talk about their experience and then answer some questions about what challenges they had throughout it. And then questions about DES specifically. So there's some interesting kind of cool comments like, thank you, this was awesome. I had no idea how many activities DES was involved in. And that some people didn't know that there was support for small agencies specifically. And then they also shared which cards were most challenging as they were going through the process. So for the analysis, there are a few different steps that we went through. So first off, we could look at some things called similarity matrices and dendrograms. And so this gave us a little bit of a look at which cards were most frequently grouped together. So which ones people tended to associate. And this gave us an initial kind of look at people's mental models related to that. It can kind of tell us about what connections may exist, regardless of what label people were putting on them. And then we could start to kind of normalize these categories and these strategies that people were using. And so we looked at cards that were most frequently grouped together and then what people called them. And then we could group them together, again, regardless of the label. So some people might group a certain 5 cards together. Another few people might group the same 5 cards and call that category something different. So this normalizing brings those together to say there were actually this many people that grouped these cards together. We also took a look at strategy. So some people approach this with the idea that similar people or people trying to accomplish similar things would go to a certain place and group certain cards. And then other people grouped it by topic, like what were the cards related to. So here's kind of an example of, you can see this University of Washington site. There's a topic-based navigation that's the main one. So things about academics, news, and events. And then you can see there's a secondary navigation that's focused on who is coming to the site. So students, parents, faculty, alumni. And so being able to look at the cards and identify how people were sorting was also useful when trying to get a picture of the mental models of the people that would be using the site. So then we started looking at the groupings of content. So looking at the votes for each card, how many times was a certain card put in a certain category, and then kind of looking at the secondary ones for that as well. And then finally, we looked at the labels. So what were the specific words that people were using to describe these categories? Which labels were most common? What represents the cards inside these categories well? So with that, the main things and categories that we found for the global sort were that these groupings didn't change too much from what they are now. Most people did tend to separate contracts and procurement. And we also saw some people, about a quarter of participants, create a small agencies category, and a few people create a legal category as well. But again, this does echo the current site to some extent. We've got an about section, Capital Campus, vehicles, printing surplus, training. We also saw that about 35 to 45% of people use the audience-based strategy that I mentioned earlier, but there wasn't too much agreement about what cards should be placed in the categories. So they had this sort of sense that it could be grouped by who was looking for the information, but there wasn't a lot of consensus about what information. We saw that HR, public works, construction, contact information cropped up some, but not too much. And then that more than 10% of participants found that file a tort claim was a difficult card to place in a category. Do you guys have any questions before I go on to C&P results? All right, so some high-level findings for contracts and procurements. 45 participants created a policy-related category. They tended to label this policy, compliance, support, resources. Only 2 people grouped contracts and procurement together, which makes sense within contract and procurement, but still good to note, always good to check the obvious. And then some people created a category related to systems. So an ECMS specific category, a web specific category. And then the other ones that we saw were bid opportunities and reporting. We also saw that 74 participants created a training category, and that 81% of them included contracts and procurement training in this larger training category. So going back to sort of that global look at that. Contract categories were labeled anything from current contracts to state contracts and contract management. We only saw 12 participants create a contact category in the global sort. So a specific area with contact information as a whole versus contact information kind of distributed to the relevant topic. And also 12 people that did the same thing in the C&P sort. So that was kind of interesting to see. And then in this case, participants struggled with the learn how to lease property or learn how to lease X kind of cards. So how we'll use these findings. We're currently using them to draft an information architecture. This is helpful as we parse through the content and understand how people are thinking about it and try to group it in a way that feels most natural, feels easy to people. So this is one of the inputs for the draft IA, along with some of the content strategy work that's happening as well. So as you can see, what is up next is a tree test. So we'll talk a little bit about what tree tests are. So for this next step, we want to test this draft information architecture, kind of check these assumptions and the way that we're interpreting the card sort results, and then evaluate how well users can locate specific content within this tree, this information architecture that we've created. So it lets us test this tree that's representative of the way that we've started to organize this information. And so it has a complete list of different menu categories, specific labels that we've chosen for them, and then the content that goes inside it as well. So what happens in this activity is we ask users to find information in the tree, and then we're able to track the path that they use to get there. So what they click on, whether they go back and click on something else, we can kind of understand whether they can get directly to something or whether something seems confusing. And because this is task-based and it's looking at this entire hierarchy, it more closely mimics a real-world scenario. And so from here on out, the rest of our research will continue to be task-based so that we can mimic the way that users might interact with something in the real world. So whereas our card sort let them kind of define categories, they had to sort all the cards, and it's this initial look at a mental model, the tree test actually evaluates something that we give back to them and is closer to what they might experience in the real world. So what I'm going to do next is let you guys kind of experience this for yourself. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And I'm going to copy a link to a tree test and put it in the Zoom chat. Also navigating many layers of windows. Thanks for your patience. So this is just an example. We're not going to take a look at the actual information architecture that we're still in progress on. And so this is one that we used in building the wa.gov website that's still in progress. So you'll see some introductory language about that. You're welcome to just kind of click through the initial questions, answer them however you would like. It won't be stored, it won't matter. And then you'll be asked to complete some tasks. So what I'd like for us to do is take about 5 minutes to do that. And then we can kind of come back, talk about the experience, what you think of this tree test activity and what users might think of it. And then kind of wrap up from there.
Just to clarify, normally people would want about 10 to 15 minutes. We're asking them to power through it a little bit faster, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
And you
okay.
don't need to feel pressure to complete a bunch of tasks. If you're welcome, just kind of explore the tree if you want to. You can complete one task. You also have the option to skip tasks if you want to find something else that you want to look for. So this is just basically a little bit of time to explore the tree.
All right, I'll set a 5-minute timer for everybody to go ahead and do this independently.
Thanks. All right, so what did everyone think of this experience? Have any of you done anything like this before?
I see some head shaking.
Is there anything confusing about it? Anything that was surprising as you went through it?
Was this intended to test like a final product, like a final?
This was pretty.
Structure.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, if I was looking for the right word. I thought final structure.
Yeah, this was pretty early on in this project, I believe. So again, like the process that we use for research is iterative. So this is something that I kind of informed early on before designs, before some other testing. So not quite the final one.
And probably I would say the just to butt in there, it's typically earlier on that we do the tree testing because as you notice, it's just structure, right? And just labels. And eventually on the website, there will be content and there will be design and there will be other things to help people figure out where they're supposed to go to complete their tasks. So this is the sort of early on first stab at it and make adjustments based on this. And then get it into a site with content and test it again and see, are those working now that there's more stuff on the page?
And are you looking for, you're looking, probably, my guess is you're looking for the minimal amount of clicks to get to where, so any of them where you see there's a whole bunch of clicks to get continuously a lot of clicks to get to someplace, that's probably not great. And then, is that right?
It can be more of a, yeah, you want it to be quick, but I think you want each click decision to be easy. So if it's only 2 clicks away, but the categories are confusing and they cross over and I'm not sure where to go, that's more hindrance to the user than maybe dividing it up into some easy decisions of where to go and having there be 5 clicks to get there, especially with high-speed internet.
So is it actually testing time between clicks and how many clicks as well?
Yeah, Claire, you want to talk about what?
Sorry,
what's
I'm interested.
They're all really great
No, that's-
questions, Damien.
Great. Yeah, you made the perfect transition for me. Thank you. Maybe this will be a little bit helpful. It's just a kind of sneak peek at our analysis process. So there are a variety of things that are helpful to look at, and data that we get as they're going through it. So we look at things like first clicks. So as Kami was saying, did the label make sense? Did they go into the correct section the first time? And then destination. So that was, the button that you got to that said something like, I think it would be here. Whether what they chose there was what we set as the quote correct path. I say quote correct because, again, we're testing something that's not final. And so we just want to see whether our assumption matches what they do. And then what their path is. So there's this cool kind of tree that we get to look at to see where they go, like what path they go down, where they might come back, where they might go a different direction into another category. And then what's also really helpful is they can leave some comments too, so that we get a little bit of an explanation as to why they think something might be particularly easy or difficult.
And I just want to piggyback on that, Damien, because there's this misconception that the number of clicks matters more than anything, but 6 clicks might be better than 3 clicks if it gets them there faster. And if it doesn't make them have to think quite so hard to get there. We tend to want to roll up our content as high as possible for fewer clicks, when in fact that might slow them down. So we are looking at both. You don't want 20 clicks to something, right? Because they're going to get fatigued clicking that many times. But 6 might be better than 3 in some cases.
I like to call it the scent of information. So as long as we have a strong scent and they know, yes, I'm on the right path, I'm going in the right direction, then we're successful.
So is it also, I'm sorry, Brent, I think you have your hand raised. Sorry, I'll stop. You go ahead.
No, finish your thread.
Is there also any consideration to, so maybe it takes a few more clicks, but maybe you want that because you may want somebody to land on a page to see something that may be relevant, or maybe you think is relevant, you want them to see it to expose them to something else or something like that. Okay, I'm done. I see that showing out of heads. Thanks for humoring me.
That is a great observation. Yes. Brent, looks like you've got a question or comment.
Well, sure. I hope it's relevant. I'm coming late to the conversation this morning, but as part of your analysis, do you ever look at how quickly someone reverts to the search option as a way to analyze the effectiveness of the layout of the web's page? Like if somebody does 2 clicks and they say, I'm done, I'm just going to try search. I just wonder if that's one of your analytical factors in how effective the structure is. And then a part B question, unrelated to the analysis question. I don't know if anybody really has great experiences with searches in general on web pages. So I just hope we haven't lost track that is maybe a huge opportunity for this project, is to end up with a product that has a workable search option. I don't know all the background behind search and why it doesn't work, but I don't want to be too global here, but I personally haven't had a lot of success with searches on any website, let alone DESs. So, but my main question is that part of your analytical process, is how quickly people go to search because they get frustrated with, trying to find what they want to find during the normal path?
I can speak to the first part. So usually during the tree test, we don't include a search portion of it because we're trying to evaluate the specific information architecture that we've drafted and trying to get some good understanding of whether those labels make sense and the path, the scent that Kami was mentioning. But search often does come in when we're doing usability testing later on. So maybe when we have a mock-up of the site or a beta version of sorts, and we ask people to complete specific tasks. And these could be similar tasks to what happens in the tree test. And we ask them to do that on the site as they would naturally. And we can take some measurements like how long that takes, where they're going, things like that. Sometimes we do give them the option of like if you feel stuck, you can say I feel stuck, or I would use search, or often that comes up naturally. People say I would just stop here, I would use the search bar, or they say right off I would use the search bar. And those are the kind of things we can note at that point. But in this this tree testing portion of it, because we are focused on really like honing in on what the information architecture is, search doesn't tend to be a part of that. Kami, is there anything you want to add there?
I think just that at this point, we're just trying to figure out where everything lives. Like everything needs one place where it's going to live. And then in future design and testing, we start to think about the best ways to get people there. And search is certainly one of the best ways that a lot of people will just say, maybe they're kind of opposite from you, where they will just search to start every task. So searching and browsing are kind of the two ways that you can go about finding something. Browsing would be like using this tree structure to find it. But it's still important in the labels we use and where we place things impacts how good the search is going to be. So they are intertwined. We just start with the browsing and the structure, where it lives.
And I don't want to get off track, but I just know I know there's something on the webpage. I know exactly what it's called, and I type that into search and it doesn't come up. And that's super frustrating.
Yeah, Brent, I will tell you that search is really powered by the content improvement process. Like how good are our headlines? How descriptive are they? Being mindful of when you put a hyperlink into a web page, what does that hyperlink say? What's the hypertext say? So the hypertext is like what you actually see that link. So that's why we say, don't say more, don't say click here. That's not descriptive. Search looks at those kind of things. And so it's really about making sure your content is in good shape, because search pulls from that content. And we are aware of the challenges of our search. And a lot of the reason for that is because of our content.
Great. All right, thank you. Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
absolutely. Great questions. Claire, did you have anything else that you wanted to cover?
That's it. I can pass it back over to you.
Okay.
Angie had a question in the chat.
Okay, Frangie.
There are a list of tasks that will be. Yeah, good.
Yeah, thanks so much. That was basically it. I was just curious if we already identified the tasks that will be tested. There were like 60 cards, but that feels like probably way too much for the tree test.
Yeah, that's definitely more than what we want to use here. So that's kind of the process as we're going through this drafting the information architecture. We're trying to identify the key questions that we have that we want answered by this, like anywhere that there's uncertainty about placement of something. We also probably want some representative top tasks in there as well. So yes, long story short, in progress still.
All right, everybody, I'm going to wrap us up here. We have 10 more minutes, and I just want to give you an overview of what's coming up in March. We had a few things that some of these things were going to be done in February, and since we extended our timeline, we're able to push them back a little bit. One of the things that we're working on is what's called core modeling sessions. And I want to give you I think having a visual of this is going to give you a sense of what this is. So what you do in core modeling is you take your content page and you describe what are your business goals. So what are DES's goals for this web page? What are we trying to accomplish by putting this content out there onto our site? And then you say, okay, what are the user tasks? What are the users trying to accomplish on this page? And then you look at what are the paths that they come to this page from? What exactly do we need on this page, the core content? And then where can they go from here? What's that call to action? Do we want them to contact us? Do we need them to fill out a form? Do we send them to another website? Do they go to an application? Cami, feel free to jump in if I'm missing anything core from that. Just interrupt me if I do. We all went through this, the core team went through this just recently, just this week actually. And so here's an example. Actually, this one is switched around. The user tasks are on the left and our goals are on the right, but this is just an example of one of the working sessions that we had on just a basic content page. So you can see that we said, well, here are what the user tasks are. Here are the goals that we have as DES. Here are some of the ways that they get to this page. Here are some things that we need and or that we want on this page in order to meet these goals. And then this is an example of the places that they can go from this page. And so this is part of the content improvement process. This is how we really look at your content very closely and understand what those needs are and what content needs to be, how the content needs to be refined, or how content needs to be maybe broken out into other pages so you don't have too much on there. So we do a lot of analysis looking at the pages. And this is the process that we will be going through with our content contributors work group. And we were planning to have that set up by now, but it got pushed back a month. And so we're going to be doing that for content improvement with our contracts and purchasing folks, those topic owners. But that process I just showed you will be something that will come up in later phases with everybody when it comes time to improve your content. Also coming up is our messaging, tone, and voice work. We have a draft of this, a pretty good draft. It's going to be shared with our executive steering committee and also shared with you next month in our next meeting to get your reactions and input and thoughts on what we've got. And lastly, we've got our writing style guide, and I'm going to give you a little preview of what something like that is. So a writing style guide is a document that helps our content creators and our editors, anyone from you to a contractor who's creating content for us, to use consistent wording and voice and how to create that experience that matches the messaging, tone, and voice that we've established for our agency. And we are working on a draft version of this, and the process that we're going through, that the core team has been going through, and then some other members from communications, because we have our fingers in all sorts of programs and divisions and know what kind of verbiage you use. And we've gone through the website and pulled common terminology and just things that we know belong in style guides. And an example of our table of contents is this right here. So how, a little description, how to use the document, how to write well, how to write for your audience. This is our draft. So we haven't implemented our messaging, tone, and voice information into it yet because you haven't reviewed it for one reason. It's kind of drafty in here and bits and pieces like right here. You know, what are some things that you need to know about website writing, like links? Hyperlinks are incredibly important in websites. So we got a little section on there. Social media, tone and voice, and tips for writing for social media, which our communications team does. And then there's also a big chunk of a writing style guide is an A to Z guide. And an example of that is you go to a part of the alphabet, and in this case, F, you can see that we're describing how something should be written in the written form. So this is how you would do federal. This is how you would do fiscal years. In this case, C, another entry. This is how you would do fleet, full-time, hyphenated or not. So we do this for many different words, A to Z. We're going to have, our thought right now is we're going to have a DES style guide. And within that, we'll have a main A to Z, but then we'll also give programs and divisions an opportunity to have their own. So if they want to have a fleet A to Z, for instance, or a surplus A to Z, they can put their own in the same thing. It's going to be digital. It's going to be on the web, and it won't be something that you have to print. That's for sure. But it's going to be HTML based, web page based on our intranet is our hope. Or we might even put it on our website so that people externally can access it as well, especially people who are writing for us. So do I have any questions on any of those four things? Style guides happen to be like something I adore doing. So it's really fun, but a lot of people don't have experience with them, which is okay. Brent, do you have a question?
I do. I know it depends on the audience greatly, but is there a standard for what reading level web pages in general should be, or in particular our web page? And if so, could you share what it might be?
Yeah, Cami might want to jump in on that, but I will tell you that I've been working on this for 20 years and it's constantly going down. So, it's gone from like in state agencies that we, when I first started, it was, we want to be at grade 9 level. Then it was, we want to be at 8. And then it was, now it's like the last I've heard kind of the standard is we want to be at grade 5.
Wow.
On websites. So I do think it really does depend on your audience, like you said, Brent, but I'll let Cami chime in because she might have more recent research than me.
I don't know if I have more recent research related to like what grade level should it be at. I was I thought it was 7 or 8, so I might be behind on the like should be part.
Yeah.
But what I could add is insight just into when we do studies and we're trying to use plain language. Sometimes we get that pushback of, well, we have, this is a specific industry and our users understand this language. And so these are the words we need to use. And what we find in testing and hear from those users is that they appreciate the plain language also. And so that helps them too. They don't have to have the jargon to be able to navigate and understand what's going on. So I definitely like as plain language as we can get and still convey the right message.
Yeah. It's something that I've managed with all topic owners and subject matter experts in all the agencies I've been in. It can be a challenge, but generally one of the things when I used to teach this, one of the things I would talk about is you can still use that, you might still need to use that jargon that you have with the people that you're speaking with that know that jargon, but you want to really make sure everything else around it isn't difficult for them to understand and read. So, you might have some words that are 5 syllables long. That's okay if they understand what that word means. Just make sure you're trying to use simple, shorter sentences and easier constructions around all that verbiage.
It can help with our search engine optimization as well. And also what we tend to do is like use plain language on the site, but then allow the search to understand the jargon and still send you to the right place.
Yep. Yeah, great question, Brent. Thank you.
There's one question in chat from Melinda. Will we still be using Drupal?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're still using Drupal. We're upgrading by 2, actually. So Drupal, oh gosh, does that make us 8 or 9? I can't remember.
9, I think.
9.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a better version, and we're really excited about the options that we have with this newest version. And we're in Anthrotech. WATEC is doing that work for us. Okay, wrapping it up because it's 12 o'clock. Just to remind you what I wanted you to take away. The project's been extended. September 12th is our new expected launch date. CardCert results have provided a lot of insight for us so far. User-centered design research that we've done and helping us organize our content. There's been a lot of work sessions on the back end on information architecture that's going to inform the tree testing in April, which will be going out. So you'll be hearing a lot more about that. And next month, we'll be talking about messaging, tone, and voice. That will be our main topic. So everybody, I've recorded this and I'm always here to answer questions. You can email me if you've got anything that we ran out of time to talk about. Okay.
Thanks, Niket and consultants.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for your attention today. I appreciate it.
Bye, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Cami.
You're welcome.